Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. It is like 100 degrees outside. It's Friday. I just got off work and last night we just released the 2020 C8 Corvette. It is finally here. Corvette finally has a mid-engine design. Only like 50 years too late. Anyway, we're going to talk about the brand new C8 Corvette today. How about the design, about the performance, about the specs, about some controversial things. But first, we're going to do another gratuitous beer pour because I got some more Treehouse. And this is one of the best beers I've ever had. It's called Julius by Treehouse. So, let's get started. Alright, now we're going to get into this. This article is from Jalopnik, my favorite car website. It says the 2020 Chevrolet C8 mid-engine Corvette has 495 and better tech than ever. Okay, so number one, we're going to talk about design. Okay, I think it is a good-looking car, but the design is very busy and sort of generic. I mean, I get it that this is their first attempt at a mid-engine car, but there's just so much going on the front, specifically the hood and the side right here, and I will talk about an article explaining this in greater detail after I talk about this Jalopnik article. But okay, I like the LEDs in the front, but just these creases on the hood here seem sort of unnecessary. I mean, when I think of like the C6 Corvette, which is very simple, clean looking lines, this just looks, it sort of muddies up the water. You've got a diffuser here in black. I like the vents up here. I think the wheels are gorgeous, okay? And the overall shape of it looks like a Corvette, even though it is still mid-engine. I just think it's a little busy. Even right here, this picture, just look at all these lines and arches, and I don't know. Anyway, so it says, rumored since approximately the Taft administration, the 2020 Corvette, the mystical mid-engine Corvette, has finally transcended myth and arrived in reality. Okay, this car has a 6.2-liter V8, 495 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. They say, okay, the reason that this car will be a quote-unquote game changer is because this thing starts at under $60,000, which, just like the $35,000 Tesla, no car is going to be $60,000. Once you get into the options, I'm sure you'll be 70, 75 at least, but still, they say this car will go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, which is just about as fast as the current ZL1, which has 755 horsepower. So I kind of find it hard to believe that this car will go 0 to 60 in under 3. 495 horsepower is sort of a lot. It's not a lot compared to other horsepower wars, but 3,600 pounds, they say 2.95 to 60, which is ridiculous, I'll give you that. If it does that, any car that goes 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds and is, let's say, $70,000, holy shit, okay, that's an insane performance value. I mean, wow. Now, this is only automatic. It is a dual clutch transmission, no manual ever for the first time, to start. Okay, it's geared for being quick off the line and efficient on the highway via the 7th and 8th gears. Okay, so look at this picture. You can see the mid-engine, but just look at all the lines and creases, and I don't know. I like that they're still calling it the Stingray. I can hang with that. Also, it has a front trunk and a rear trunk. I mean, the rear trunk is right here, and they say you can put 2 golf clubs in there, and the engine is right there, obviously, mid-engine. Now, mid-engine means that the engine is in front of the rear axle. A rear engine car, like a Porsche 911, the engine is behind the rear axle, back here. That's the axle. Anyway, just looking at more pictures. Okay, this picture is pretty sick, but like I said before, the design over here is very busy. Okay, we know that mid-engine cars need to have an air scoop in the back on the side here, like the 488 piece to like the 911 turbo, and this is no exception. I would surely get it in carbon fiber as well. I love these 5-spoke wheels a lot. 12 colors. Okay. But yeah, the greatest piece of news of all, it'll start less than $60,000, which, come on, that is pretty impressive, okay? Okay, here is the interior, which I sort of have a couple problems with. Not too bad. Okay, number one, I like the steering wheel. I like the flat bottom. I like the squared off top. I like the paddle shifters that go with the wheel as you turn it around. I'm okay with the design of this. I like the instrument cluster, which is digital. I like the screen right here, but this sort of HVAC controls is super complex. Okay, I get that there's not much room up here for the HVAC controls, but the way that they did it in the C7 was nice, with just two little rows of stuff. But every single control here is right here on this spine, and somebody who's sitting in the passenger seat, they probably can't even see the screen because this is so angled towards the driver, which is fine. It's a driver's car, it's an American sports car, that's fine. But it just seems a little crazy. I don't know any other cars that have a setup like this. I mean, the passenger heated seats, cooled seats, the HVAC controls, where you want the air, everything times 2 because you have the driver and the passenger. I'm not so crazy about it, okay? It's very button heavy, like this says. Okay, but just moving on, just looking at more pictures. This side angle is interesting. Just so many creases, and okay, it goes up and in here, and it goes bumps back out, then it bumps back in, then it bumps back out, then it bumps back in. It's very busy. Okay, I'm a proponent of clean, simple-looking cars. That's why I think my Mazda 6 is still a beautiful car, because it's pretty simple but looks good. Now we have to talk about the rear end too. There is the steering wheel. Okay, here's the rear end. It's alright. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the sort of squared off taillights. I guarantee you somebody will go back to the circular tailpipes. That's what I would do. The lights are interesting. It still sort of looks like the C7 was. Okay, when I did my review of a C7 Corvette about a month or two ago, I really like what they did with the taillights, going away from the circular taillights that they've had since the beginning of time. But these they're okay. It just kind of looks like a Camaro. And I get that you have to have the cooling here. This sort of reminds me of like an Aventador, sort of. Right here, this section. Okay, the wing is there. I'm sure there will be lots of wing options. The airflow can go through there. That's lifted up, and air can go through. It's okay. I don't know. I mean, I know this is the first attempt for GM to do a mid-engine car, and it's alright. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's certainly a game changer in the fact that it has 500 horsepower and will go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for $70,000, we'll say. That is the best part about this car, which all the fanboys were worried about this car being starting out at, let's say, $100,000, but $60,000 in a car that will perform like this and is mid-engine, that is really cheap in a good way. I mean, inexpensive. My father-in-law has an '04 Corvette. He was looking to maybe get another car. I think this could squarely be on his list because of the starting price and what you get for that. So overall, it looks like a Corvette. The design is okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best looking car in the class. You know, a 570, a Performante, a Pista, a 720 look better than this car. Look more exotic than this car. It doesn't look very exotic. It looks like a mid-engine Corvette, and that is what it is. So in a sense, that is a success. I love the wheels. Got nothing bad to say about that. I like the red color right there. It's decent. It looks, I keep saying this because it's true, it looks like a mid-engine Corvette, and that is what it is. So this front 3/4 angle is pretty cool. Okay, so now let's talk about the design more specifically. Okay, so now this is an article from Automobile Magazine, which is a pretty solid automotive magazine. It says 2020 Chevrolet Corvette C8 design analysis. I'm sorry, but I'm disappointed. The mid-engine Corvette is finally here, and it looks generic. Okay, so this person apparently used to work for design, thinking about doing a mid-engine car back in the 60s or 50s. So that is another aspect that has been interesting, how this car has been an urban legend forever, and now it is finally 2019 and we finally have a mid-engine car. But they talk about the front 3/4 view and what he thinks about different things. So number 6 and 7 were the interesting one. It says, let your eye follow the rear door cut up the side of the car to see how many planes it travels. Okay, you go in, out, in, out, in, out. It's a lot, okay? I by no means am saying that this is a bad looking car. It just is very busy, unnecessarily busy, okay? I like the fact that you can take the roof off and put it in the back trunk. Very cool, okay? I mean, it's not, I said before, it is not as exotic looking as the other McLaren, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, but as a first attempt at a mid-engine car, they did pretty good, okay? It's just, this is an interesting article just talking about the design, okay? Now the rear of the car, it just says that the black of the wing sort of breaks up the color, and I think it would look good in black. The diffuser is down there, it's sort of busy. They love the design of the wheels, which I do too. So I should link this article just because it's very interesting to talk about design, because as a car guy, design is what I love the most. How a car looks, how it makes you feel, you know, it evokes emotion, you know. That's why I love Ferraris, because they're so emotional and it evokes like an exotic feeling. I mean, that's what I get out of cars, and that's what I love about cars. So I am by no means a Corvette guy. I appreciate them for what they are, but it's a good looking car, a nice first attempt at a mid-engine car, and it has to be the performance bargain of the century, and in that sense alone, it is a massive win. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment below. Drina, I know you're going to watch this. Maybe Matt, MPG, is going to give me a comment too, so let's wrap this up. Alright, so this video was on the C8 Corvette. Lots of good stuff, some not so good. $60,000, $70,000 for a mid-engine car with 500 horsepower that will go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds is pretty damn impressive. So GM, I think you did a pretty good job. I can't wait to see what the Z06 and the ZR1 are going to be like. Those will be more game changers than this car. So leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. I'm going to do another video shortly that'll come out tomorrow. So leave me a video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on cars. Go get some Treehouse too. This is the best in the game. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.